Hello, everybody, and welcome back as we get ready for our second matchup here today between the Matsu Miners and the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. I'm Sean Neef alongside Reese Lannon, and we are getting ready for our second game of this doubleheader here today.
Matsu Miners.
And leading things off for the Miners is going to be the pitcher on the mound, Willy Johnston, left-hander from Texas A&M, back out for the appearance today. He comes into the day smoking hot, and this will be the defense behind him. In left field, Tyler Wilson, center field, Patrick Donovan, and right field, Ricky Nunez. Infield, left to right, is going to be Jared Sweeney at third. Over at shortstop, David Bermudez at second base, Holden Breeze, and then Nick Sorelli manning first base.
For the Miners, obviously wanting to return Willy Johnston back to the lineup as soon as possible. This is when he's normally slated, and they don't want to really mess up the rotation they have going. For a team that's won 22 of its last 29, whatever number we're at now, you really don't want to mess with the rhythm. So Willy, given a partial Willy day today, as he'll have the start for the second game. On the other side, for the Glacier Pilots, they're going to have McCart on, another local, for his start in the Glacier Pilots rotation. And around him, it's going to be left to right, McGuire, Wink, Lopez, and McNamara on the infield. Weiss behind the plate this time, so no Hagedorn. And Galicia actually going to give it a chance in left field. Tom Tappick in center, and Cole Escher returning to the lineup in right field for today.
Miners going out, they have a little bit of a different defensive alignment, but they'll look for victory number 28 in Game 2 of this series nonetheless. And we'll see how Will Johnston operates on the mound. He seems ready to go, fresh off that shiner he took to the nose area.
Yeah, Willy's a tough guy. He's tough as nails, and he's not going to let his team down. He's coming here to perform today. I'd expect nothing less than a professional performance. But with that being said, we are getting ready for our national anthem. We'll take a brief break here. Make sure you stay here with us.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen,
We're ready here for our second part of this doubleheader here today between the Matsu Miners and the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. Miners took a close game one here today after a 10-walk performance by their offense. They had less than half of the amount of hits that they did walks in that game, and that's exactly what led them to that win.
Will Johnston going back to the mound for his start today on the year. He's been nothing but nails, and you got to think he will be the at least Cy Young of the ABL. He's appeared in 8 games, 7 starts, 45 and a third innings. Allowed 27 hits, 16 walks. He struck out 60, a 5-0 record, 1.59 ERA.
He's been absolutely lights out all year. I had mentioned in our first broadcast here today, Willie was awarded the Most Valuable Starting Pitcher Award in the Miners' own awards given out by Pete Christopher, our beloved Pete Christopher.
General manager, yeah, Will Johnston. There was nobody more deserving than Will. He's been fantastic this year. And you got to think his start today may be a little bit on a pitch count watch. Miners obviously have a playoff series coming up Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so you would think he'd get the chance to start game one, and if he does, he'll probably be on a limited pitch count today.
He is, no question, pitched the most innings for the Miners. Over 13 innings more than the next closest in their rotation. So Willie, a cornerstone of this roster, and right now, he's just getting his reps in. He's coming to do his job, do the work he came here to do, and we'll see if the Miners are able to capture number 28 on the back of his performance.
The lineup facing him will be leading off in right field, Cole Escher. Batting second at shortstop, Blake Wink. Hitting third in center field, Tom Tabak. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Alec Jones. Hitting fifth at third, Connor McGuire. Batting sixth, the first baseman, Michael McNamara. Batting seventh in left field, Jimmy Galicia. Batting eighth at second base, Fausto Lopez. And rounding out the lineup, batting ninth, catching Grant Weiss.
Very interesting to see Jimmy Galicia, the usual pitcher in left field today. Miners, of course, have seen their own pitchers get some rotational use in the field, but usually more in exhibition games. However, seeing Wink and Escher available for Game 2 makes me question why they didn't put either of them in the first game's rotation.
Yeah, that was an interesting decision, but clearly they're going all in today. I would think Ethan Mann is maybe a bit banged up. That's the reason he's not in.
Someone who is available right now, Cole Escher, the right fielder, the first one to the plate to face off against Johnston as we get ready for Game 2 of today's doubleheader. First pitch from Johnston's going to go high. That'll be ball 1.
Johnston, left-hander from Texas A&M and Aggie. He's gone 2-0 in the count.
Escher, a very satisfying .333 batting average on the year and a slugging, closing in on 700. He is a leadoff nightmare, but right now, in a 2-1 count, I feel like Escher and Mann have really become the pillars of this team through a whole season.
Tabak, too.
But you can't survive off of the efficiency of just 4 guys. And that's really showing the bottom of their lineup. If they can't keep pace with something like the Miners, it's going to be a tough chance to steal wins here in Herman Brothers.
Miners just 3 away from 30 on the year with 4 games remaining.
3-1 pitch. That one's high, so Willy Johnston starts his day with a walk. Definitely not the opener he was looking for.
Yeah, trying to get that fastball up in the zone and was just riding a little bit on him. So Cole Escher over on first base. He has 2 steals on the year, but he's been caught 4 times. So not exactly the most efficient base runner. We'll see if maybe he tries to take off.
Will go down as Johnston's 17th walk of the season. But you compare that to his 60 strikeouts, and that 17 looks a lot smaller. Johnston now facing off against shortstop Blake Wink. Shortstop will watch that one go by for strike 1. So Escher and Wink, already 2 players that were not in the first game's rotation.
2 Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders as well.
See if the Blue Raiders are able to make their offense felt here early. This one fouled off to the back screen. Miners were able to coast through the first game on only 3 arms thrown between Naughton, Santerre, and Floyd. If he is going to be on a pitch count watch, we'll see how far Willy Johnston goes, but I would be shocked if he went less than 3, considering how reliable he's generally been. This one fouled off again, still 0-2, as Wink is purely in a defensive stance now.
Wink, one of just 4 guys on this Pilot team hitting over 250, comes in at even 279. No home runs, 7 RBIs. The big thing for Blake Wink, 14 steals. He's been caught just once, the ABL steal leader.
Another stat might pop out to you, 10 errors on Wink on the season. This one just high, will not take the first strikeout looking. Instead, we're looking at a 1-2.
Sitting at 7:39 p.m. local time here in the Valley. Had about a 40-minute break in between the games today.
That one going to be thrown back to first, just checking on that runner. We have the Olympics going on. They always talk about things that feel like they should be Olympic sports that aren't Olympic sports. Watching people feast on all that food in the 30-minute time period between doubleheader games is an Olympic sport.
Pete Christopher had his hands full out there handing out hot dogs.
This one's also going to get away for ball 2. Still 2-2, unable to put away Wink so far.
Yeah, the concession stand. We actually tried to get Powerades. Concession stands out of Powerade. Never have seen that here. I don't think I've ever seen them out of anything. Actually, no, they were out of pretzels one time. That was the only thing I've ever seen them out of. They were out of Powerade. They were out of Diet Coke as well.
2-2 pitch. This one making him dance at the plate. Give you a little Irish jig impression as Blake Wink could barely dodge that pitch.
It's gone from 0-2 all the way up to 3-2.
Johnston still looking for his first putout of the inning. Johnston looks to Rando and keeps checking over at Escher at first. In his stance, here's the pitch. That one hit into foul ground, and that is where it's going to die.
7 pitches and counting. This at-bat for Blake Wink. Tom Tabak standing in the on-deck circle. Tabak in game number 1 had a 1-4-3 line.
We're only on the second batter. However, not the zooming start we thought we might see from Will Johnston. Wink at the plate. Another one put on the ground, this time right to David Bermudez. Can he get the throw? Not in time.
That was an outstanding play just to save it from being a left field runner taking off. The only play was going to be at first, but Blake Wink just way too much speed. It's an infield single.
No error is going to be issued for a play like that. It would have been impossible for Bermudez to even make the throw in time.
There's a reason Blake Wink has 14 steals.
Like you said, a beautiful way to just stop that ball, prevent the runner from advancing to third.
Now it's starting to get in the middle of the order, and Will Johnston's really going to need an out here. Lefty-on-lefty matchup. Tom Tabak. Maybe a strikeout, maybe a ground ball. Either one would work.
None away. Tabak managed to get a hit in his first at-bat for our first game here today. Should he do the same, it would spell bad news for the Miners here early, but gets a strike.
0-1 on Tabak, who raised his average actually in Game 1. Came into Game 1 hitting .304 and then had that 1 for 3. On deck circle, Alec Jones.
Tabak in the left-handed batter's box waiting on the next pitch, and this one breaks perfectly on the inside.
We elaborated a bit on Game 1, but Tabak, although he does have that .304 average, he has a major struggle at reaching base via the walk. Just 3 walks on the year for him.
He is the inverse of the Miners' offensive production from Game 1. Big swing there. There's the first out he was looking for.
That's exactly what Willy Johnston needed. Exactly what the doctor ordered. 3-pitch strikeout after the first 2 reach. And he gets one of the best bats out very easily in this Pilot order. Alec Jones, the DH, next up.
Most pitchers generally start to get flustered when they get runners on the bags. Johnston looked more calm in that at bat than he had in the first two. Next, he'll be facing off against the cleanup hitter today in the second game. That's going to be Alec Jones.
Another guy, I know he's not playing it as that pitch is fouled away. Garrett Pennington is absolutely surged into the MVP conversation in the ABL. I know he's on the Oilers, who are in last place currently on the year. He's hitting .330. He tied Nick Sorelli with the 5 home runs. They're tied for the ABL lead at 5 home runs and 20 RBIs. 20 RBIs leads the ABL as well.
Done it in a shorter amount of time as well. However, a losing team is always hard to draw individual accomplishments from.
He's right back in the middle of it. If they can somehow find a way to make the playoffs.
Oilers currently sit 1.5 games behind the Bucks, as they're both not in action today. So the Oilers would likely have to win out, and the Bucks would need to lose out for that to become a reality.
Yeah, that's a tough hill to climb for the Oilers, as it looks like their season will come to a close. And as we see tomorrow, if there's maybe a blemish to that, tomorrow's games include the Miners and the Pilots, obviously, and then the Bucks and the Chinooks in Shugiak. So the Oilers, the day off. Miners will be looking closely just to see who they end up playing.
Someone with little blemishes so far, Willy Johnston has worked ahead 1-2 against Alec Jones. And this one's just skied up, straight in the air. Rando heading towards his own dugout, gets there and keeps the runner, but he's going to head to third regardless. Not going to get him out, thrown to the opposite side of the pillow, so he'll be safe at third. That hesitation made me think that Rando might have had him stuck in no man's land.
Yeah, I think Rando tried to pump fake to maybe catch him in a no man's lane, and that he did, but he should have thrown it earlier as that runner just break for third. It was a tough play regardless. He was all the way near the Miner dugout. That's a long throw to make just because he made the catch beyond the plate. I mean, that's arguably a throw from right field.
He still made the catch, so second out in the books. Willy Johnston 1 out away from escaping a first inning jam. Next up, it'll be number 12, third baseman Connor McGuire.
McGuire's game 1 produced a hit, 1-for-4 day, and 2 runs scored, as well as a double.
Extra base hit would more than likely bring home both runs, as there's plenty of speed from Wink. This time Johnston, another breaking ball, but can't find the zone.
1-0 on Connor McGuire, who plays his college baseball at UC Irvine. A lot of UC Irvine guys in this league. Another notable guy in the Chinooks, Josh Sheck, first baseman.
I'm pretty sure if you took UC Irvine and Cal Baptist and Loyola Marymount,
you could make an entire team.
You'd probably find their entire roster.
Did that get through the backstop?
Yeah, it went right over the net at the top, and now it's sitting on the roof in front of us. It's our pet.
That is a seared line drive back here.
Because of that foul ball, 1-1.
Thankfully protected by the screen back here. Unlike Anchorage, where we are in a straight box, could hit the glass.
That one also flied off, heading towards the gate, and it'll get over. So Jared Sweeney, no play.
Yeah, long run for Sweeney, unable to get it, but Johnson did what he had to do. He's 1-2 now on Connor McGuire.
Sweeney filling in at third. Rother started there in game 1 before being replaced by Sweeney in the 7th inning.
That was just a defensive sub as well. I don't think Rother is banged up or anything. Scheduled start for Sweeney here in game 2. He's in the 8-hole.
No, Rother seems like the kind of guy that punches a tree and the tree feels it.
Yeah, big dude. 6'5", 230. Yeah, he can move it.
Johnston looking to escape the inning here. Can't see how that one missed, but 2-2 is the call.
A very borderline there. Johnson certainly thought he had him rung up. He took a skip and a hop off the mound. He was headed back to the dugout to sit down and take a break, but he'll be called back for at least one more.
So even again, this one, he runs for second. The bat is chipped off and dug into the infield as this one flies out to center. A lot moving pieces on that play.
That was impressive by Connor McGuire just to get that ball into center field. Luckily for the Miners, it wasn't a bloop shot. Ended up staying up there. You got to think, if that bat maybe stays together, Connor McGuire might have had a straightaway center homer.
An extended top of the first finally comes to an end. No score comes across. Miners managed to hold them off. So they'll be up to the plate as we get ready for the bottom of the second. Make sure you stay with us as we get ready to venture into the bottom of the first. Bottom of inning number 1, and Holden Breeze will lead us off here. It'll go Breeze, Tyler Wilson, Nick Sorelli, Casey Rother getting a well-deserved rest in this game.
Breeze steps in after a game 1 where he went 0 for 2 but scored a pair of runs as he was able to walk.
On the mound for the Glacier Pilots, it'll be a local Anchorage native, Taylor McCart. McCart has appeared in 4 separate games for a total of 4 innings, usually working about 1 inning at a time, but gets the start in game 2.
Yeah, this is more of a bullpen day for game 2, I guess, so they went with their big-time lineup, but went with a guy who hasn't had a start yet this year, so an interesting decision. McCart, not the hardest thrower, looks to get by command and control.
He does have some power. If you look at his frame, 6'3", 230 listed at. He has plenty of muscle behind it. Holden able to just get a piece of that one.
He's got that very slow breaking ball. That's another thing. Very slow breaking ball coming in.
If you get used to a certain velocity range for the pitchers, and they throw some really off-speed pitcher like McCart at you, it can take a bit to adjust. Holden able to lay off on that pitch, 2-2.
Breeze obviously has been a spark plug to this minor order, and without him, I don't think they'd be at the spot they were. He came in when the Miners were really struggling just to find anybody to fill depth.
And this one just blooped into center field right in front of him. Nothing he can do as Holden Breeze leads him off with a single.
Yeah, Tom Tabak in center field didn't even really try to come in on that. He knew that was dropping. It's a base hit to lead off the ball game for Holden Breeze, who continues to just get better and better offensively. This kid has been something else. He's up to, on the year with the Miners, over 340 batting average.
Miners arguably couldn't have won the first game here without that same effort and hustle that burst him through Seguida at first. As Tyler Wilson tries to turn on the first pitch, but this one's heading into left field and put away. That time, Jimmy Galicia, the two-way pitcher, for the out.
Yeah, we saw him make his first play in the outfield, actually. So Jimmy Galicia getting after it early, and now we got Nick Sorelli.
Sorelli was nothing short of historic, working towards that record. In the last game, 3 walks. A chance that he could reach it or surpass it in this game should he draw a few more.
2 to tie, 3 to take the lead.
But He's coming out all swings. That time, strike one.
That took a big hack at that. He was trying to take the home run lead right back from Garrett Pennington.
We might just see the last two games Nick Sorelli swinging out of his shoes, trying to get one more over the wall. But for now, he's showing good patience, but falling behind 0-2.
McCart does a good job at attacking the strike zone. He's got that really slow breaking ball. That curveball over the top mixed in with that fastball kind of changes speed.
Sorelli does get a piece of this, falling in front of Galicia, unable to, or he does grab it.
Yeah, no, it hit the ground. Yeah, he trapped it. He trapped it on the catch, and then it squirted out of his glove. But Holden Breeze thought the ball was going to be caught, so that's going to go down as a fielder's choice, actually, for Sorelli.
Holden had started towards second, then head back, and that led to the moment of hesitation before Galicia got the fielder's choice.
Yeah, Galicia able to, after all of that, get the out at second base, so they'll take that. They get the slower runner at first base and the out.
You think the one person that would know if he caught it was the person in left field, but couldn't help being a bit hesitant. Now we'll see if Rando has enough to keep the Miners alive in the bottom of the first. Takes a strike on the inside. May not have the speed of some of the other pitchers, but the placement so far from McCart has been nothing short of perfect. Sorelli back to first. The pickoff attempt, just a check-in measure. There's also an added risk with McCart. With a bit slower pitching, should they square it up, it can easily be turned around. But no worries through the first inning. He was able to keep the Miners top of the lineup at bay. And because of that, we still have no score through the first, despite the Miners adding 2 hits onto their total.
Yeah, that was a kind of easy first inning for McCart after the leadoff single, but Miners still obviously looking for their first run.
We'll have to wait to see who strikes first here. We'll be right back with the second inning of action as we get ready. Make sure you don't go anywhere. Willy Johnston gets comfortable on the mound as the Glacier Pilots get ready to send up hitters 6, 7, and 8. Leading off will be number 28, Mako McNamara. Had a hit in the first game here today, looking to make it 2 for 2.
McNamara, we saw him at third base in game 1, actually increased his average after game 1, but he'll be up here to start at 6, 7, 8. It'll be McNamara, then Jimmy Galicia, and then Fausto Lopez.
That average for McNamara now sits at 169, so still considerably below the Mendoza line. Not a strong beginning to the year. See if he'll be able to finish it out stronger. Johnston did allow 2 on in the first. More traffic than we're used to.
left-hander from Keller, Texas. Stands at 6'4". He'll go back to work. Just one strikeout in the first inning, but it was a big one. He got that first out on Tom Tavik.
This one also seared backwards on a line drive right past the back screen.
And for this Pilot team, just like the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks, they strike out a lot. The second most strikeouts actually behind the Chinooks in the ABL.
Another strike as we speak of it. That one taken looking.
Blake Wink leads them with 32 strikeouts in 111 at-bats, but they also have a bunch of other guys. Devin Ornelas, 29 in just 68. McNamara, 27 in 75. Grant Weiss, 22 in 60 at-bats.
McNamara just lucky to dodge that last pitch. Make it 1-2.
Pilots really need game 2 of this doubleheader if they want to stay in the race. If not, it could spell the end. At least to their hopes at a home playoff game. And it would clinch something that has never been done for the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks franchise in the fact that they'll host a home playoff series. They've never done that in the ABL.
Here for first home playoff game for GM Pete Christopher, maybe a first 30-win season, but it's going to take almost perfection from the Miners in their last couple games.
It was 0-2, now it's worked to 3-2. Michael McNamara working a pretty good at-bat here. A lot of people in the stands. This is one of the most attended minor games all of this year.
Just like that, another walk.
Second walk of the day for Johnston. That ball just missing on the inside. Borderline pitch, but McNamara takes his base. 1 on, none out, Jimmy Galicia.
It's not very often that we see Willy Johnston go from an 0-2 to a walk like that. Usually reserved more for some of our more wild pitchers. Maybe Willy using today as a bit of a exercise. Should he shown up like this for the first game of the playoffs, I think Ty LeBron might be a bit concerned, so working out some of the kinks right now.
James Aaron has actually started stretching in the minor bullpen.
That one tipped off into foul ground just a few feet in front of third base.
Galicia, if you remember him, he struggles to hit the breaking ball a little bit, to say the least. Galicia, on the year, has had his warts against that breaking ball.
Galicia, in the last week, they've tried to incorporate him more as a two-way. Hasn't necessarily generated much offensive potential.
2 hits and 14 at-bats on the year. Only strikeouts on the year. He only has 2. And those both came against Willy Johnston 8 days ago. 7 innings. Gave up just 1 hit and 1 walk. 10 strikeouts and a dominant performance from Willy. Picked up the win.
This time it's shot into left field. This one foul again.
Galicia behind 0-2. We could see a 12-6 curve. We could see a slider. We could see a changeup. I would expect anything but a fastball here to Galicia.
Maybe that's exactly what he wants you to think.
Galicia can hit the fastball. Other pitches, at least from what we've seen so far, not so much.
This one is a fastball down low, ball 1.
Yeah, buried that one in the dirt. I guess I should have said anything but something in the strike zone. Which is fair. Galicia, free swinger.
That would be considered a good pitch in most cases, an 0-2 count. No reason to give him a good pitch to hit. Make him chase, and Willy, once again, going to put this on a line. Back to Bermudez, throws to first. He gets him.
Fantastic play by David Bermudez on the dive out there at shortstop. That mini dive across the diamond. Sprawls out, makes the play. McNamara had no idea what hit him. He's easily doubled off first base.
That fires up this crowd here at Herman Brothers. You can feel an emotional shift after that double play turned beautifully by David Bermudez.
It goes 6-3 on that double play.
Because of that double play, Fausto Lopez, the second baseman, comes up with 2 outs in the inning. And starts with a strike. Willie feels that emotional burst as well from his defense.
That was a big play by David. Obviously, no more for the glove, and he shows you exactly why.
That one takes a few steps too high, ball one.
That was an outstanding play in the hole, and we can hear the other broadcasters even saying, give credit where credit is due. That was a fantastic play.
Bermuda has been the heart of the Miners' defense since he arrived. Not many games that he's been on the sideline for because of that defensive prowess. Willie now looking to put away Fausto Lopez with a potential strikeout. 1-2 pitch. This one low, but couldn't get him to come around. 2-2.
Lopez on the year has struck out 12 times in 92 at-bats. Not a huge strikeout rate compared to some of his teammates.
No swing. Good take. Full count. Lopez is a hitter that relies primarily on his batting average to get on base. 167 average, 158 on base percentage. Went down according to a stat, but they also have 2 games not submitted for the Glacier Pilots.
This is in the past week, by the way. Not the entire year.
Still full count. Able to kick that last one out of the basement. Fighting hard to not become the third out, Fausto Lopez wants to keep the spark alive despite that double play really snuffing out a lot of their momentum. Johnston once again fouled off as these two will keep doing battle.
It's been a lot of pitches for Willie so far, certainly. And that's maybe why we see James Aaron stretching. Obviously, he's going to be on a pitch count, so Aaron ready to start warming up pretty much on moment's notice.
Willie was already going to be on a pitch count today, but seeing him have to work harder through these first 2 innings is making me think that it may be a very shortened outing today for Willie.
Ball's fouled away. That was his 43rd pitch of the game.
43 pitches, not through 2 innings yet. Fausto tries to stay alive just one more time. Instead, he'll find a new home at first, joining Aaron Walters over there as he keeps the inning going. Passing it along to the next up. That'll be their catcher, Grant Weiss.
9-pitch walk for Fausto. He really worked at that at-bat, was able to reach first. That was a close call on the last one, just like Michael McNamara's, but apparently a little bit too high.
Grant Weiss in the 9-hole for this game managed to put together a solid stat line in the first one. 1 hit, 1 RBI, 1 run. Was all over the bags. Was responsible for a solid portion of the team's final score. Willie's still waiting on his first pitch to Weiss. Here it is. A beautiful strike right down the middle. Just threw a dart in the corner.
0-1. He's got to get Weiss here. Doesn't want to turn it back over to the top of the order. And Cole Escher on deck, who reached on a walk his first time, made it all the way to third.
Escher plenty capable with the bat as well. Johnston to Weiss. Here he goes to second. Lopez gonna arrive at second and head to third now. Put away by Patrick Donovan in center field. He manages to make the long-running play in his tracks to put it away for the third out of the inning, and the Miners make it through 2, despite 9 batters coming up to the plate. Still no score for Anchorage.
Donovan making a nice play out there, able to range in on center field. Breeze could have went out and made the play, but decided against it, let Patrick Donovan do the work, and that'll do it for the top of the second inning.
Bottom of the second. Next up for the Miners as they'll head back to the plate, looking for their first run of the game. Make sure you don't miss any of the action as we'll be right back after a short break. Bottom of the second, and we're going to begin with Aaron Walters, the first baseman for the second game today, leading off in the 5-hole.
Wally standing in as we lead off the second. He didn't appear in game number 1, back in the lineup for game 2. He's at first base today.
There's so many players in this lineup that we've been taking for granted being everyday players. Wally, one of them. Bermudez also, and Casey Rother, who's obviously sitting in this contest.
Walters comes into this game scuffling a little bit. Average down to 230 on the year. 1 home run, 8 RBIs. His 1 home run, though, did come against these same Glacier Pilots back in Anchorage.
Now looking to create his own home run in front of the home fans. Instead, this one's just going to become a sky ball right to the shortstop. Blake Wink there to put that one away.
Easy play for Wink, 1 away. And we'll get the 6-hitter in the minor order, Ricky Nunez.
Ricky got the start in the first game as well and managed to turn a single.
Nunez has been playing a lot more, and for good reason. He's been playing well. Nunez is technically, he'll be a junior next year, and he said it himself, there's not many 4th or 5th year juniors in college. He'll be a 5th year junior next year at California Poly College in Division II in California.
Ricky lays off that one. That seems to be the case with a bunch of these players.
COVID year,
redshirt year with injury. All of them just have unique stories, and none of them seem to go to school like anybody else.
Yeah, Ricky graduated from Riverside High School in 2017. We've said in the past his Little League football team, the Inland Empire Ducks, were a major dynasty, probably the best youth football team in the country. Played with some big-time names, specifically Tate Martell, for better or worse.
This one also smacked into left field, but fouled again.
Yeah, Tate Martell actually just committed to UNLV yesterday, so that'll be his 4th school.
That'll be his last chance.
Or no, 3rd school. 3rd school, he committed to 3 different schools during the recruiting process. It'll be his 3rd school, but he played youth football with him. Graduated from Riverside in 2017. Took a red shirt in 2018. Played 2019. COVID 2020, and then this year was technically his sophomore year.
This one should become a can of corn, and that's exactly what it is. Fausto Lopez gets under it for the second out. 2 uneventful outs so far for the Miners in the second.
Nunez retired easily, and now we're going to get Patrick Donovan, the center fielder, who came on as a defensive replacement in the 5th inning for Mike Ferreira in game number 1.
Donovan recorded the final out of the top of this inning, now hoping to avoid becoming the final out in the bottom of it. And he's going to jack this one right back over the infield's heads. That one just gets down for a base hit, another single.
Patrick Donovan's got a nice little line drive swing, taking the first pitch there right back up the box. He looked a little bit uncomfortable his first couple games in a minor uniform, but he started to hit his stride, and he's seeing the pitchers a lot better.
Ever since his RBI single here at Herman Brothers, he's developed a lot more confidence.
2 outs, Jared Sweeney coming to the plate.
He's also one of the only people brave enough I know to get his waves with a pink cover.
Pink do-rag, yeah. It's a nice
he was rocking
nice
it
touch.
at the team dinner yesterday.
It was a nice touch, honestly.
It
good.
was. Who knew that the bright pink would go with the gold and green so well? Now Jared Sweeney at the plate. Don't let the lack of Home Depot music confuse you. This is him. And he gets another line drive. This one gets over his head. Donovan's going to chug for third. The line throw is there. And got him out. A line laser throw from Escher in right field is going to gun him down. That was just a seed from right field.
That was a fantastic throw by Cole Escher. Patrick Donovan has good speed, but Escher has an even better arm.
So Casey Sherman going to talk with Patrick Donovan after that, likely to warn him about it next time. The Miners still scoreless through 2, and we have a 0-0 ball game. Nobody coming across just yet. 3rd inning of action next up as Willie heads back out there, so make sure you stick around and don't miss any of the action. 2 innings come and gone, no scores so far. Top of the lineup due back up for the Glacier Pilots. It's going to be Cole Escher leading us off in the 3rd.
Willy Johnston back out to the mound, obviously on that pitch count, as we see maybe Kevin Nakamura waiting to throw with possibly James Aaron or maybe a different arm, as Johnston back out for the 3rd inning.
I could confidently say this is likely Willie's last inning to keep him fresh for the playoffs. And this one immediately to swinging at 3rd on a single hop. It goes over to 1st, and that's your first out. So 1 pitch, a much faster pace than we've seen for the first 6 outs.
Yeah, Johnston needed that. Just get some longevity out of him. Remember, in a 7-inning game, he has to go 4 innings to be eligible for the win. And now, coming to the plate is Blake Wink, who singled his first time up.
Wink has some speed. See if he puts one on the ground here. A strike, this time on the inside of the zone.
Wink, we know about that speed, but he's got to get on to use that speed.
Another strike. Still no offer, but 0-2. He has to play catch-up. Wink, as we've pointed out before, is prone to the strikeout, and an 0-2 count can't be good for that. But just manages to lay off.
1-2. Wink trying to find a way to battle. Said he's a pretty solid hitter coming in on the year. Just under 280. Finds his way on base. He does walk. His main fault is the strikeout. 32 of them on the year leads this Pilots club.
And that one looked close to a strikeout, managed to just find a sliver of the ball and foul tip.
Wink's slash line looks like 279, 360, 342. Not a lot of power with just that 342 slugging, but that 360 on base is actually very solid.
Another high ball, 2-2 count. Willie 1 out through 1 pitch. Wink offering a much longer trial for the pitcher.
Pilots in their alternate blues today. The Miners in their home whites.
Another loose pitch, and that's ball 3. It seemed to lose his grip just a bit early on that curveball.
Pilots, I believe, have, now that we've seen at least 4 different Pilots jerseys. Home whites, alternate navy, alternate blue, and they also have a red.
A big hack here. Staying alive and working Willy Johnston even further. Full count still. But the more he fouls off, the more Wink is putting himself in a solid position.
Can't tell who the arm is down in the pen. It might still be James Aaron, but there is a pitcher warming up with Nakamura.
Another walk for Will Johnston. Blake Wink back on again for the 2nd time.
Johnston's gone into a lot of long counts, and that's his 4th walk of the day. He's had trouble keeping runners off the bases via the base on ball. Just 1 hit allowed as Tom Tavick comes to the plate, 1 on, 1 out.
Very likely could be the first outing of Willy Johnston's season where he has more walks than strikeouts to this point. Next up, Tom Tavick.
He watches ball 1 there. Tavick, his first at-bat, he became probably the most important out so far of the day. Johnston, 2 on, none out, was able to get a 3-pitch strikeout on Tavick.
Tavick taking a different approach this time, ahead 2-0.
Trying to work the count a little. Tavick on the year has an OPS reaching over 800 at 822, which is even more impressive considering his on base is only 336. 305, 336. He's got a 486 slugging. Second on the Pilots, just behind Ethan Mann.
A strike here, 2-1. Willy Johnston manages to capture one of them back.
Johnston so far on the game has reached almost 60 pitches. He's at 58 of them right now.
Another strike on the outside. Willie making a bit of a teeter-totter effect as he's evened it out 2-2.
And this next pitch will be pitch number 60, and I'm very surprised that we haven't seen Blake Wink take off yet. 14 steals on the year. You'd think if he gets on, he'd want to go right away, but evidently not.
That's probably why, right there.
Throw over. Yeah, you got to check on him.
Willy Johnston.
The guy can burn up the line.
He's well aware of who's standing at first right now. And he is someone who will incessantly pick off at first if it means getting it out.
He made the move over there. Maybe catch him napping, get a little pickle. And he did.
Just that. Speak it into existence, Reese.
Oh, he's safe.
That is purely good base running or a missed call. David Bermudez taking it hard on the shoulder, but gonna have to continue with the inning.
He may have swam over that tag. I think he put his left hand in there and then used the right to work around it, and I don't think David Bermudez ever got that tag down. So the pickle, they did get him in the pickle, but Blake Wink is safe.
Willy Johnston
Good as a
definitely
steal.
can't be blamed for that. He created the opportunity. Just some beautiful base running and a nice, intelligent slide by Blake Wink.
Steal number 15 of the year for Blake Wink.
You don't steal 15 bags without knowing how to slide right.
15 bags in less than 40 games, keep in mind.
This one put on the ground likely would have been a double play in the end of the inning should they have gotten the caught stealing. But that's your second out. Another ground out, 6-3. But we have a man at third that likely shouldn't be there.
Yeah, it would have been a tough turn on the double play because Tabak does run fairly well, but it would have been at least close. So it's unfortunate that the Miners were unable to at least get that out at second and the inning.
With only 2 away, Alec Jones, their designated hitter, comes back up. 0-1 so far for Jones, who has a chance to get the first score for either side in this ballgame. First pitch is a strike. Gauging it there.
Johnston trying to find a way to work 3 scoreless innings. It would be a big step in the right direction.
Another foul tip makes it strike 2. Will Johnston with a chance to get out of this inning with another huge strikeout.
Tomorrow, once again, the Miners back in action, 6 p.m. right here, last regular season home game.
0-2 pitch. And
wow.
Where are you looking, umpire?
Wow. That was about as close as you can get to not being a strike.
Maybe the
tiny zone.
Umpire is checking his contact lenses now. You can't miss that one. There's strike 3, undoubted. Will Johnston tells him, was the first one a bit high? Was that one better?
Got him swinging on that one. Something was better about it. I think both pitches were strikes, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because the Miners get through 2.5 innings. Will Johnston with 3 scoreless innings.
Outcome is the same, and the Miners looking to take their first lead with the bottom of the third coming up next. We'll be sure to stay right here. Make sure you stay with us. David Bermudez, the 9-hole hitter, leading us off in the bottom of the third for the Miners.
Bermudez standing in his game earlier, he was unable to yield any hits. He came close, actually, to a suicide squeeze. Bermudez did score a run, though, as he reached on an error. Actually, a fielder's choice, correct me. Came around to score in the error.
You corrected yourself, buddy. All the credit to you.
Correct myself.
2-0 count. Bermudez does swing into this one. He gets a piece of it off the wall. It's going to be caught underneath of the sign, so a easy double for David Bermudez.
How about that? Bermy getting into it. Shows off that power, able to get the double. It's a leadoff double. The Miners with a prime opportunity to break the scoreboard open.
In Alaskan athletic news, Lydia Jacoby, a local swimmer from Seward, Alaska, only 17 years old, has won gold in the Tokyo 2020 Olympics in the 100-meter breaststroke.
Yeah, I was going to be on the USA Olympic baseball team, but they decided late that my shoulder was banged up and I couldn't go. So
That your shoulder
that's why
was not a professional pitcher's quality?
That's why. No, I wasn't going to pitch. I was going to play outfield.
Okay.
That's why I didn't go.
I see.
The cameras just weren't on during the broadcast, or during not the broadcast, during the practices.
I think you would have thrown out your shoulder.
Probably.
0-1 to Holden Breeze, who also turns on this one, heading back to left field, and foul.
We've seen about 4 or 5 balls hit to the left of that foul pole, down the left field line in front of that big wall going into foul territory.
I don't know if it's just the desire to hit the ball towards the two-way player, but Jimmy Glacier is not having fun in left field.
Yeah, they're inducing some stuff.
That one, a pop-up for an easy first out. Holden Breeze put away on a weak line drive of sorts.
Yeah, that was more of a weak line drive than a pop-up, but regardless, it is the first out of the inning.
Tyler Wilson will have to follow up, trying to bring Bermudez home.
Wilson singled the opposite way in a 1-for-3 day in game 1 of this doubleheader. Started out in center field, moved to the 5th inning, or moved to left field in the 5th inning. Moved to the 5th inning, left field 5th inning, same thing.
Starts off with the strike here. Wilson, one of the better trained eyes in this rotation, one who's definitely capable of getting a multi-hit game should he be in rhythm.
First at bat today, he flew out to left.
So just another minor picking on Jimmy Glacier.
Yeah, they're sending him all his way, and he's been good so far. Even the one that he trapped out there, he was able to throw into second base.
Wilson looking for the first RBI on either side, instead watches ball 2.
Wilson from Grand Canyon University, a Chandler, Arizona native. I like these minor home whites they're wearing today. I like them. The greens are nice too, but I like these the most.
The whites are the cleanest jerseys in my opinion.
Cleanest, definitely. Not a big fan of the camel ones, to be completely honest with you. I'm not the biggest fan.
It depends on the hat they pair it with. I think with
Very
the yellow
true.
cap, it's better than the green
yellow cap,
for
definitely.
sure.
Yellow cap with it, definitely better. I like the yellow cap more in general.
As you can tell, Reese and I are fashion icons.
Yeah.
A curveball gives him ball 4. Tyler Wilson, no reason to swing to advance the runner. He puts himself on with 4 balls.
Yeah, it's tough to get a high strike today with home plate umpire. I mean, anything up in the zone seemingly called a ball. And Nick Sorelli hoping for a bunch of them up in the zone. He's trying to find walk number 34 of the year.
Sorelli in an 0-for-1 so far in the game 2. Watches ball 1 go high.
Like I said, watching the balls up high.
It's the same area that Willy Johnston was struggling to finish off the top of this inning with. Likely to see both pitchers and any relief pitchers start targeting the bottom of the zone more often. Tries to attack it here, but curves too low. 2-0 count.
Bullpen activity is shut down, so either they're going to go to a new pitcher in the 4th, or Willy Johnston's going to go back out there.
Willie may be asking to line himself up for the win. This one put into the gap. Nobody there to stop it. This will be the first run of the game as David Bermudez shuffles home, following him, but hesitating again. Tyler Wilson, he gets there as they can't pick up the ball. There's 2 runs.
How about that? Nick Sorelli had to stay at first. So Sorelli stays at first, and Wilson finds his way all the way around the bags. That ball got thrown into Blake Wink, and it just got away from him.
You know what's better than a walk? A 2-run RBI single for Nick Sorelli. Wilson even gave them the hesitation on the third baseline, gave him extra time to recover, but still beat out the throw to home. First 2 runs scored in this one. Miners take a 2-0 lead here in the third.
In the batter's box for the Miners, your catcher, number 43,
Still only 1 out, and Sorelli cleared the bases for Rando to come up next.
Rando 1 on, 1 out. Miners 2-0 lead already early.
A strike called here around the knees, 1-1. They're really starting to time these pitches well. That decrease in speed is coming back to be more of a malpractice for the Pilots now.
Yeah, Taylor McCart, not immense velocity, trying to get by command, and right there Sorelli commanded that strike zone. Got a good piece of lumber on that one. As the 1-1 miss, no, called a strike. Tyler Rando certainly not thinking so, and he's having an extended conversation with the home plate umpire. The count sits at 1 and 2. That one missing in the dirt, and able to scoot up to second base is Nick Sorelli. That's going to go down as a wild pitch on Taylor McCart.
McCart having all the damage done by Sorelli. 2 runs driven in, now threatening to become the third himself.
Rando at the plate certainly has a nose for the RBI. He didn't get a chance to play in Game 1. More of a day of rest. Game 2 back behind the plate.
This one lifted into right field, hanging for a bit. Not put away. Falls into foul ground, and unable to reach it is Escher in right field.
Do it again, 2 and 2.
Rando happy that one fell. Gets another chance to drive home Sorelli. Still only 1 out in the bottom of the third.
Nobody warming yet in the Pilot pen, but a man down there actually standing and maybe loosening his arm a little bit, maybe in anticipation of warming up. McCart's pitch count is not an issue at this point. It sits at just 40.
I think the pitch count's more of the afterthought, more focused on the threat of the runs coming around. They've already garnered up the lead. Now they could be creating a hole for themselves to dig out of.
Then again, McCart has only appeared in 4 games this year, and all of them have been for a sole inning.
This one, a line drive right back. And
Nick Sorelli. I am
a little
befuddled.
confused on what's happening.
Oh, they're going to call time before the pitch.
Okay.
That's what I was befuddled. Sorelli ran.
I was going to say.
Wait, Sorelli's still on third. I am befuddled at what is going on right now.
Everyone's confused regardless. Sorelli was at third, and because he's going to be easily brought home, but Rando.
What is Tyler Rando doing? But
he was not even thinking about stopping for a second at first. He becomes the second out, but the Miners score a run on Sorelli sneakily getting over to third.
Everybody in the press box right now is befuddled as anyone.
It might have been a balk allowing him to pull into third.
Could it have been a balk? I didn't see any balk signal, though.
The only real explanation I have that Sorelli would pull into second, but then again, I don't know why Rando tried to run to second either. There's a lot of confusion in the last few plays.
Well, Rando at least able to get the RBI single. It was a big knock for Tyler. Able to go the opposite way for the RBI, 3-0.
With that RBI, he continues to extend his lead atop the RBI leaderboards for the Miners. Rando now has number 19 on the year, one closer to 20.
That's actually the second outfield assist of the day for Cole Escher. Threw out Patrick Donovan last inning, and then just threw out the Man trying to run a second, Tyler Rando.
2 outs in the inning. Walters puts this one right back to McCart, who manages to get it on a quick hop for the 3rd out. Some nice instincts from McCart as he was able to grab that, but managed to fall apart a bit in the inning thanks to a Tyler Rando shot, some confusion from the crowd, and a Nick Sorelli 2 RBI single.
Yeah, how about that inning? I'm assuming it's a walk, but it's still confusing. Regardless, the Miners got 3 runs.
So they hold a 3-run lead. We head to the 4th. Willie's day does appear to be done, and we'll see if the rest of these pitching staff can hold on to the lead for him. We'll be right back. Make sure you stay. New arm in for the Miners. A Wasilla native, James Aaron, takes the mound. Aaron has made a few appearances so far this year, pitching just over 12 innings for the Miners, with a batting average allowed around 270 for the Miners, or 227. Just over 200, so a pretty competitive range for any pitcher. They'll be handing over a 3-0 lead to him.
Connor McGuire standing in at the plate as he's now down 0-2 swinging. McGuire earlier flew out to center field. He was the broken bat to end the 1st inning. Somehow managed to muster it all the way into pretty straightaway center field.
This one also launched, not going to make it much deeper than the infield. And Wally's going to put him away for the 1st out. A pop-up for the 1st out at the 3rd position.
Can of corn, Michael McNamara coming to the plate next. McNamara, his first time up, had a walk. Went to a full count and walked. We saw him have a 10-pitch walk in game 1, so he's been able to reach via the walk. I know McNamara's average is down below than you might like, but he does have 14 walks on the year, so he manages to get on base via the walk. He takes ball 1 there.
Anybody that can take a walk is instantly valuable in any baseball organization. You can look at the Miners' best players. The people that generally get in the rotation are the ones that will take walks and get on rather than swing for everything.
McNamara has a 320 on base, which is actually probably pretty average in the ABL despite his slumping average.
This one immediately shot to Jared Sweeney. How about some quick hands there?
Sweeney able to snag that right at him. Had to kind of duck that glove down to make the grab, but anyhow, 2 away. James Aaron is 1 out away from working a 1-2-3-4. He would actually be in line for the win if he can get through this 4th cleanly.
Miners speed running right now on the defensive end. Aaron has come in with little emotion on his face. He seems pretty determined to just knock down these hitters.
On the year, he is 1-1. Obviously, so the 12 2/3 innings. He struck out 11, 3.55 ERA for the Wasilla right-hander.
to continually pound the strike zone. That one just a bit low. You can see the dust kick up around the glove of Rando. Galicia waiting on the next pitch, swings a big bat there, but can't find a single bit of the ball.
Galicia, those breaking balls are not his friend. It's like the movie Major League where Pedro Serrano cannot hit the breaking
He can
ball.
only hit fastballs.
Only hit the fastball.
There is a fastball for him, more around his knees, but that one's low.
Shouldn't say he can only hit the fastball, but it's definitely the pitch he'll try to attack on. The breaking ball he struggles with.
There's the breaking ball for him, barely able to tip it off.
Count remains at 2-2. Aaron has been pretty much middle of the pack in terms of minors pitchers. He's pitched a couple games lately, had a long absence.
There's the strikeout, makes him take it looking right down the middle. James Aaron works a quick 1-2-3 inning for the minors with a strikeout on his name.
Yeah, Aaron was really good. Got that weak pop-up, the lineup, and then the strikeout right down Broadway. Galicia maybe looking for the breaking ball there. Instead, he goes back to the dugout. James Aaron, good work.
Miners will be back to the plate looking to add on to their 3-run lead when they come back. Make sure you stay with us here so you don't miss any offensive action. Miners kick off the fourth with Ricky Nunez, who comes to the plate looking for his first hit in the second game today. Ricky got a screaming single in the first game, and now he's simply watching the ball one go by.
Miners, obviously in the 7-inning game, are already halfway to the finish line. They just need to get good relief pitching the rest of the way. Got those 3 runs in the third, and they're ever closer to picking up win number 28 of the season.
This one bounces right off the bag, can't find it, and Ricky's going to pull into second thanks to an assist from the bat.
Actually, a really close play at second. Blake Wigg did a fantastic job getting that ball quickly to make it at least competitive, but Ricky Nunez is going to get credit for that double, even though it probably would have been a 5-3 ground out if it doesn't hit the bag.
We had a question in our first game whether or not a earlier shot down the third baseline had touched the foot or the bag. That time, no real question. It jutted into the air right after touching the pillow.
Miners will certainly take that. Nunez gets credit for the double, and now it's Patrick Donovan standing in. Donovan's last time up, first pitch swinging single, ended up getting thrown out at third to end the inning.
Goes after the first one again. This time it bounces off of his hand, and he'll be safe at first. Ricky safe at third. Nobody away. McNamara regretting that one and feeling it on the wrist.
Yeah, that one's going to go down as a base hit, though. That was definitely not an error. McNamara diving there, almost took it away, but it hit off his wrist and caromed back between the mound and second base, so no way to throw out the speedy Donovan. Runners at the corners, nobody out.
Jared Sweeney next up looking to add on to their already impressive 3-run lead with none away here in the bottom of the fourth. He's going for second. Donovan, no throw to even attempt it at the plate.
Donovan was trying to entice a throw. He kind of slowed up a couple of times, maybe hoping to get a throw down to second base, get Nunez home, but no throw. Donovan gets credit for that stolen base.
Two men in scoring position, none away, and a 1-0 count to Jared Sweeney. There's a big swing on a breaking ball, but can't find it. 1-1.
Sweeney getting the start in the 8-hole. Playing third base today. Good defender. Switch hitter. He's got runners on second and third here. Prime opportunity. Had a single earlier.
It's going to be hard to not swing at most pitches here with the runners on, and this one lines right to McNamara at first.
McNamara had to make a jump on that one, too. Sweeney nearly had a double down the line. McNamara playing him perfectly.
He wasn't about to miss another opportunity there. Took that one right in, and now it's going to be David Bermudez, who got into one last time, put it right to the wall in left field.
Double off the fence, came around to score. Runners on second and third. The infield is not in, interestingly enough.
That breaking ball not going to fall for McCart, who's still working in the fourth inning here.
Like I said, pitch count not really a big issue. They're just looking for some longevity, but this game could be busted open.
And this one hit up high into center field. Ricky lined up for the sac fly, lost his footing just a bit, and that might cost him, but that one's going to get away. McCart now there. The throw in is well away from home. Donovan runs home now. It could be two on an air, and the Miners clear the bases despite the out.
Pilots are putting on a defensive showcase right now that you can say isn't the greatest. Ricky Nunez right there shouldn't have scored. The ball actually on the throw, the pitcher McCart backing up the throw, threw it to home, throw was offline, and it hit Holden Breeze, and that's what Robert Anders is arguing about. He thinks it should be a dead ball. If it were a dead ball, it'd be just 4-0. Yeah, Nunez made a mistake over there at third. He slipped off the back, so he wasn't going to score, but the throw from center field was so far offline, like it wasn't even close. It almost went to the Pilots' dugout.
That was step by step, everything not to do in that defensive alignment. Ricky and Donovan should both be held at second and third, but because of an errant throw and a forced throw by McCart back to home, 2 runs came across, and a debate's still going on whether or not it should be a dead ball.
How about that?
Regardless, it's going to be at least 1 run for the Miners.
Yeah, still an ongoing conversation. It'll be interesting to see how this is scored.
Next up would be Holden Breeze, or who is simply just waiting on. They finally dispersed from their huddle.
I think the run is going to count here. Because they have not talked to Tyler LeBron. Even Bubba Walters, the first base coach, had his hands on his head like, oh my God, we gave up an opportunity to score a run. Nunez ends up coming to score, and then they get another run after him as well. Had his hands on his head the entire play, and then just kind of threw his hands out at the end of the play like, hey, it worked.
He's still talking with McNamara over at first. And I'm sure neither of them can believe what just happened.
The ball definitely hit Holden Breeze. It's just a matter of whether they're going to call interference. And if it is interference, if they'll make the runner stop or what it will be. Because Holden Breeze wasn't he wasn't in the path of the ball. He was just standing kind of on the grass near the Miners' dugout. He was in the way. The throw hit him. And I think that's why they're going to give the run to Patrick Donovan right here.
No, you can't convince anybody that he was purposefully disrupting the play.
Yeah, that's the right call. So nobody's going to get credit for the run. Bermudez will not get, or nobody's going to get credit for the RBI. Bermudez is just going to get the fly out. But 2 runs score, and it's Holden Breeze.
Lead expanded 5-0. 2 outs in the inning as Breeze is finally going to step into the box after all the mass confusion. First pitch that gets down and away. It's going to settle in a crater right behind the home plate.
Miners 5-0 lead, and you gotta think they are so close right now with the win today, and it's a big doubleheader sweep if they can.
This one on the ground to Wink at short, who gets it over to McNamara. Can't glove that one. Their defensive blunders simply continue here.
Yeah, I'm not really sure who the error is going to go on there. It was a low throw, but I thought McNamara should have had it.
I think that one should go against McNamara. He had the perfect spot and was in position with the outstretched glove, just simply didn't watch it all the way in.
It's been a wild inning. Game 1 was wild. Game 2 wasn't really wild to this inning. A double off the third base bag, that would have been an out. Then you have a single off a diving attempt. Then you have a line out, a hard line out. Then a fly out to center. And then a double error that provides 2 runs.
See if they'll finally get out of it here, and they do. Wink manages to lean back and grab the third and final out here in the fourth, but not before the Miners just break it apart with 2 free runs. We'll be back with the 5th inning of action as the Miners are going to be looking on to hold on to their lead. Make sure you don't go anywhere. Fausto Lopez up for the top of the 5th inning as the Pilots are falling behind here, looking for some kind of turnaround. Aaron back in for a 2nd inning after a quick work in 4th. He managed to pick up a strikeout, a fly out, and an easy ground out. Right now, he has Fausto Lopez looking foolish at the plate.
Lopez just trying to find a way on. I mean, they need a spark in some way or another. Reeling right now thanks to some defensive miscues, to say the least.
Defensive miscues make up for a lack of offense. The Miners have plenty of offense on their own. You add defensive errors on top of that, it's going to be really tough to beat a team like this. Aaron evens it up at 2-2. A nice strike on the low and away corner. This one just fouled away. The count will remain at 2-2. If Aaron is able to work through another quick inning, we may even see a third. The Miners kind of like to go 3-3-1 if they're able to go that deep, but this one heads back, gone! Fausto Lopez cuts into it with 1 run all by himself.
Ball was smashed over the left field wall. Only chance was maybe off the top of the wall, but it just cleared it. It's Fausto's 2nd home run of the year.
So the score changes 5-1 on only 2 hits from the Pilots. 1 big one is all they needed from Lopez as they start to march back here, and they're looking to make up some big ground in only 3 innings left.
Aaron's 2nd home run allowed of the year. Fortunately, nobody on base, so it'll be still a 4-run game.
Yeah, if you're going to give up a deep shot, you might as well do it when the sacks are empty.
Fausto Lopez playing long ball. 2nd of the year. It's his 13th RBI of the year as well.
Another pitch. This one low. Ball 2. No real sense of urgency at the plate right now. Grant Weiss is simply waiting on the one he likes. And there's the one he likes. If we're going to see another deep ball here, this one's carrying, and it's gone! Back-to-back jacks from the Pilots. They're cutting into this one at a rapid pace now.
Bottom of the order, too. 8-9 in the order. Grant Weiss gets into the party. How about that? Pilots are eating right back into this game. So they make up both those runs that they gave up on those throwing errors.
Suddenly, the score stands at 5-2 on two big swings. Aaron went from a 1-2-3 inning to now allowing 2 home runs. And we're seeing a bit more urgency down in the bullpen. Aaron Winkler seems like he's standing up and moving around now. We head to the top of the order, still no outs, and the Miners looking to not relinquish any more runs in the inning.
Aaron's got to bear down now. Just keep it at 5-2. They are solo home runs, so at the end of the day, those aren't going to kill you.
Solo home runs only make a difference at the end of ball games. And there's a big swing. Cole Escher thought he could cash in on the momentum, get his own home run.
Some throwing as well down in the Pilot pen. Activity is ramped up down there.
Another big swing. How far back will this one go? A third one in a row. A triple crown of home runs from the Pilots, and they are coming back in a late ball game. 3 straight hits, 3 straight runs. This run is insane.
Oh, this is one way to get back in the game. Home runs, I mean, it's the hardest way to do it, but the Pilots right now are doing it. They're right back in the game, and some hurried throwing now in the minor pen.
Well, James Aaron went from a quick inning of work to downright disaster.
Cole Escher going deep with that bomb. It's his 3rd of the year, his 16th RBI.
Well beyond 3 batters faced at this point, 3 in the inning faced alone. They may want to start escorting another arm down, but they're going to let him keep going. If this becomes a 4th home run, there's no question.
I have never called a game like this. 3 straight solo home runs to lead off the 5th inning. What has happened?
The Pilots had 1 hit going into this 5th inning. Since then, they've had 3 home runs in a row. And finally a strike to calm down what seems like a flood of bad luck for the Miners. This one near the head. Guess they can't hit a home run if you walk them to first.
The Pilots radio broadcast in the other booth is saying, I mean, Bob, one of their guys in the other booth, he's been around the ABL baseball for well over 3 decades, and he said he's never seen back-to-back-to-back home runs in a game. It's pretty impressive.
I've seen it either. It's pretty rare phenomenon.
The Pilots are standing on the edge of their dugout right now, almost ready for another one.
At this point, they're almost expecting everything off the bat to become a home run.
This team had no energy coming in this inning. They had just come off an inning where they made 3 errors, allowed 2 runs, they were down 5-0 with 1 hit, and all of a sudden they're crawling right back in this game. We've said in the past how bad, to put it lightly, the Pilots have been in close games.
Kill the first, and that's the first out. Finally, stemming the tide of home runs is James Aaron getting his first out on a strikeout.
He needed that, to say the least. Able to get that, but as I was going back to the Pilots in 2-run games this year are just 4-14. So, not something that they're great at, but you know, everybody's got a shot, and clearly when you can hit home runs like they've been hitting today, I mean, you've got a shot in any game.
Quick pitch for ball 1.
Aaron's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th home runs allowed this year.
This one skied up, not going to be carrying like the others. Tyler Wilson under this one, and there's your 2nd out. I'm sure he's glad to finally get under one.
He saw the ball in the air to left field and was like, oh no, but yeah, that ball was easy can of corn for Tyler Wilson. all of those home runs too hit in nearly identical places. That was impressive. Well, one kind of close to the line, the other two straight left center.
There's got to be a sense of futility being Tyler Wilson looking up at your third one of them in a row.
The first one he thought he might get. First one he thought he had a shot at. The second one he kind of went back and then realized late it was gone. Third one there was almost no attempt. That ball was gone almost instantly.
This one on the ground, Holden Breeze gets in front of it, and 3 straight outs follow 3 straight home runs. So the Miners managed to finally turn around the inning, get out of the top of the 5th, but not before allowing 3 solo shots.
Yeah, that was one heck of an inning for the Pilots, but at the end of the day, the Miners still hold a 2-run lead.
Pilots trying to bring the juice, brought it 3 closer here. Miners going to be looking to take those runs back as we head into the bottom of the 5th. Miners taking over here in the bottom of the 5th, trying to re-control a runaway train. 3 home runs in the top of this inning, luckily still in the lead.
Nick Sorelli to the plate now. Sorelli looking for that walk. He still hasn't had one yet today, but he has produced an RBI single as well as scoring a run.
Puts this one into foul ground. A nice pop off the bat, but couldn't keep it inside the bag.
Counts it to 1-1 on the big man. He looks to maybe jolt something into the Miner offense. I haven't seen a home run by the Miners in a number of days, so it'd be nice to get one. Expand that lead back out a little bit, as probably going to see a new pitcher on in the 6th.
Sorelli takes a big swing at it, but can't find what he came for. 1-2. Was our last home run hit by Holden?
I believe so.
I think it was.
Or no, Kevin.
Oh,
Kevin,
correct.
yeah, Kevin. I shouldn't say it's been that long because it has.
It was only, I don't know,
a couple games ago. Yeah, Kevin had that
2 days
grand
ago.
slam. Kevin
This
had
one put on the ground. Sorelli into an easy ground out. The first out here in the bottom of the 5th.
Bring up Tyler Rando, who's on a 1-for-2 day. He has an RBI single.
Now batting, your catcher, number 43, Rando.
Rando added a RBI in his last at-bat. If he gets a solo home run, that's a stylish way to get to 20 RBIs on the season,
Yeah,
but
might as well.
everybody else is doing it in this inning. You might as well join in. Rando waits on the first pitch, and he'll gauge that one for strike 1.
I pulled up a stat of Nick Sorelli, and if you can believe this, Nick is walking in 24% of his plate appearances. 24%. So let's say he goes up every game for 4 at-bats. He's walking in pretty much one of 4 at-bats. That is insane.
He's pretty good.
Yeah. Also, he's doing that with a 194 isolated power, which if you didn't know what isolated power is, it means 194 is very good.
Oh, he's all right. He's pretty good.
He's all right. I could do better.
Tyler Rando faces a 1-2 after that breaking ball. See if he can't really wait around on pitches anymore, but lets that one go low.
2-2. Miners with 3 games remaining after this one. They could hold on today, be win number 28, so they need to win just 2 out of their last 3 to wrap up a 30-win season. If they win 3 out of 3, they'd have a single-digit loss season. That I know for certain has never been done, at least for the Miners.
Rando lets that one go again. A full count, maybe setting him up for a walk. Rando may not be the 24% of his every at-bat.
He walks a fair bit, though.
He does get a fair bit of walks himself. He puts himself on base pretty frequently.
18 on the year.
That's good enough for second on the team. This time he's going to send it into center field and easy out there. Not too much of a response from the Miners here in the bottom of the 5th.
Aaron Walters going to get a chance now. He popped out to short and grounded out to first in his first 2 at-bats today. Still on the mound, despite some troubles, is Taylor McCart.
He's shown a lot of resilience, just getting thrown around in this game, honestly, by the Miners batters. Could have retired after that 2-error inning. Instead, he's come back out and is in the midst of a 1-2-3 should Wally go down.
Out of 5 of those runs, only 3 have been earned, so hasn't been as bad as maybe the stat line indicated.
Another low pitch, this time called for a strike, make it 1-1. All those unearned runs are equal to all the home runs the Pilots have, so they're really the difference in the game right now.
Ricky Nunez standing tight in the on-deck circle.
This one put on the ground again. Another easy play for Fausto Lopez, who makes it a 1-2-3 inning. The Miners had no real response for the offensive explosion on the Anchorage side in that one.
Yeah, then they're going to have to face a good part of this Anchorage Glacier Pilots lineup. Connor McGuire, Michael McNamara, Jimmy Galicia. 5, 6, 7 to lead it off in the 6th.
It also looks like Aaron is headed back out there, so some interest and intrigue added to the 6th. Make sure you stick around. We maybe have a close ball game down the stretch here. Miners send Aaron back out there for his 3rd inning of work, looking to make it a 3-3-1 game with 3 different arms. Winkler likely to be the closer. But Aaron, after allowing 3 straight home runs in the previous inning, I can't say I'm not surprised he's back out there.
Maybe manager Tyler LeBrun trying to give him a confidence shot as he deals a ball there to Connor McGuire, who comes in today on an 0 for 2 line.
Granted, after those 3 home runs, Aaron turned in 3 outs nearly on 6 pitches, but still the risk reward is questionable. He'll have to force his way through it here as he faces a 1-1 with a high breaking ball for ball 2.
2-1 on McGuire, McNamara in the on-deck circle, and then Galicia. If one of these guys reaches, you're going to turn it over to Fausto Lopez, who started that trifecta of home runs.
Gets his bat onto this one, but just enough to send it into foul play.
2-2. McGuire stands back in. 194 batter. McNamara, McGuire, Galicia so far today have yielded no hits as there's ball 3 low.
Full count, 3-2. Something has to give for Aaron. And it goes right back up the middle. He gets under it. Donovan's there for the first out. Looked like it might have fallen short, but just continued to carry.
Hit it pretty hard, but able to get to that was Donovan. 1 out. Michael McNamara, first baseman, coming to the plate. He walked earlier. 0 for 1 line. Also lined out to the third baseman, Jared Sweeney.
I would love to find out when the last time a team led off an inning with 3 straight home runs was.
Now 1 out in the inning. And that one gets away from him, so ball 1. Aaron managed to get the first out here. 5 left necessary for the win. He would be the pitcher in line for the win. A low pitch for ball 1. Aaron falls behind here.
1-0. McNamara from Kent State, trying to find his way aboard here in the 6th. 5 more outs to go as this one is bounced down to third. Sweeney up with it. He'll go 5-3. Ground it out. Aaron Walters receives it. And only 4 more outs to go. Time is really waning on these Glacier Pilots.
Only 4 outs away, but they are coming up on the bottom of their lineup that generated that big offensive run.
Galicia standing in, and it's been a day to forget on the day. Earlier, he lined a hard line drive to the hole at shortstop. David Bermuda's diving play was able to double off McNamara with the throw over to first, and then he struck out back in the 4th looking on a fastball right down the middle.
In that situation, Galicia was simply on the wrong side of a beautiful defensive play. Now he's facing an 0-1, looking to avoid the Triple Crown on the day. As this ball spikes in front of the plate, Brando just able to touch it enough, but can't keep in front of it.
Aaron close to a 1-2-3-6. We'll turn over the bullpen. Late inning guy will be Winkler, will it be Majors? We'll see.
This one up high, gonna be the first ball actually, as the first call was a strike low and away, make it 2-1. So Aaron, slightly behind, looking for another 1-2-3 inning to complete his 3rd inning of work. This one put on the ground. Bermudez is there. The long throw gets him in time on single hop. That was a nice job by Aaron Walters to glove that one, stay on the bag, and get the final out.
Kid's a wizard out there at shortstop. David Bermudez laying it all out on the line. Sliding stop. Perfect throw to first. What more can this guy not do on defense?
Now those 3 home runs looking like just a hiccup for James Aaron. He's through another inning. Only 3 outs between the Miners and another win here. Make sure you stay tuned for another inning of action as we're almost at the finish line here. Ricky Nunez leads off the Miners in the bottom of the 6th. They'll be looking to add a few more insurance runs to a 2-run game. Still out there for a 6th inning of work as he gets absolutely dashed on is McCart. That one gets away. Ricky Nunez, get your first solo home run of the year. Takes it on the first pitch. This one's not coming back.
How about that? Ricky feels good for him. Kid trotting around the bases, giving 4 bags, first of the year. Had that double earlier, and he extends the lead for the Miners 6-3.
Ricky Nunez said, "Insurance run, I got you. I can do this all by myself."
I thought Glacier caught it. The dude jumped at the base of the fence.
It looked like he was getting it midway up the fence.
He wasn't close to it, so like it fooled me.
He was just trying to sell it, I guess.
It really was not that close to his glove.
Ricky Nunez wastes little time capturing one of those home runs back. You said you wanted to see another Miner home run after seeing one 2 days ago, Greedy. But Ricky Nunez delivers here. Next up, Donovan, already 2 for 2 on the day with 2 singles. See if he's able to add another one to his line. That was actually Ricky's second extra base hit of the year. He has had 1 double.
Fourth extra base hit of the year.
Are they?
He had a couple of doubles, yeah.
Okay.
4th extra base hit of the year.
Never trust the numbers entirely until everything is finalized before the playoffs. This one low, a 2-2 to Patrick Donovan. Now it just feels like a home run is almost expected. We've had 4 in this game, the most we've seen in any ABL action, I believe, so far this year in a single game. And this one's high. Ball 3 makes it a full count. 3 straight balls have taken it from a pitcher's count to a batter's count.
Come on, Taylor. Bear down here. Keep it down and in against the lefty again. It's a 3-2. He does exactly
That ball's just ticked away for foul balls. They had 3-2 on Patrick Donovan.
Donovan wants a 3 for 3 day. He's trying to stay perfect. He'll take a walk. That's another way to maintain that perfect line. 3-2 count. And this one's going to end up outside. Ball 4, a walk. McCart is going to struggle to start the inning here.
Good at bat for Patrick Donovan, down 0-2. Manages to work it back, and now get it over to Jared Sweeney, who has a single, and lined out hard to the first baseman McNamara. A couple of really hard hit balls for Sweeney today.
That single was the first, also the same play where Donovan was gunned down from Escher in right field. Back on here, we'll see if he's a bit more cautious. This one away from him again. So McCart's day of work is finally starting to show some effect. That's 5 straight balls from the pitcher.
as you get near home plate again. So as a hitter, that's got to be tough to pick up on the ball.
Another one inside, maybe dusting his socks a bit for ball 2. Sweeney has been in control so far in this at-bat. No outs in the inning and a man on. That one still ball 3, closer to the zone, but can't get a favor from the umpire.
Activity which had stalled down in the pen has now picked back up. A right-hander throwing down there. It's at this point likely mop-up duty, but trying to keep the game at least at 6-3.
Big swing there. Sweeney can't find it. 3-0 count. If you're going to let off your A swing, that's the count to do it.
Sweeney was trying to hit that one to the moon, quite literally. That was as unglued of a swing as you'll ever see.
Now we'll see if he's a bit more trained on this next one, as he has a trained eye at least. Enough to lay off on ball 4, give him the free base, and advance Patrick Donovan a second.
Yeah, good at bat for Sweeney as he's able to move up the runner. And now we get Bermudez, who's already doubled off the fence today. and then flew out to center field on that crazy play where 2 runners ended up coming around without 1 RBI to his name on a couple of throwing errors.
Tries to get ahead on the first pitch here. This one sent into foul ground. The Miners bullpen has to get out of the way as Nick Sorelli almost went out to tackle him.
And what's Sorelli doing down there?
He was throwing the football.
Oh, was he?
You can tell when the Miners are in play mode.
I mean, they're having fun. I mean, with the way they're going, they can throw the football all they want. They can line up in full pads tomorrow and have a scrimmage
Floyd already
before
got
the
his
game.
save for the day. He was throwing around down there. This one sent into right field. Escher there. Donovan taking off again, testing his arm. Not going to get him the second time as Sweeney advances the second with the throw.
A really nice arm for Escher out there. Came in on 1 hop, almost threw out the runner. Really nice arm from Escher. He already has a couple of outfield assists on the day. Almost made it 3.
I'm sure Donovan was thinking about that throw the entire time he was going. He must have been tense, thinking about where it was coming from. So we'll finally have our first out. Holden Breeze back to the plate, looking to expand upon what's already a productive day. This one inside. McCart continues to throw balls as he starts off behind another batter.
Breeze on the day, 1 for 3 in game number 2. Game number 1 for Holden. He had an 0 for 2 day, but had a walk and scored a couple of runs.
Lifts this one into center field. Another sac fly opportunity with Donovan here. Not going to get him. Sweeney going to back up into second. He's safe.
Yeah, Sweeney almost got caught in no man's land, and I don't know if that would have ended the inning. The tag might have been slapped down on him before the runner coming home. Donovan could have scored, but it won't matter. Ended up getting back in there safely. Sweeney, it's a sac fly for Holden Breeze.
He started like he was going to third, but saw the cutoff grab the ball. Immediately changed his path back to second.
That is RBI number 5 on the year for Holden Breeze.
Now Tyler Wilson back up. Already added 2 runs in this inning to make the lead 7-3 thanks to Ricky Nunez and Holden Breeze. Maybe a chance to add another one here before handing it over for their last 3 outs. It does look like Alex Majors warming up down there. You see the sidearm action from the bullpen. Wilson stares at a 1-1. McCart simply lugging his way through the 6th inning here. Another one high. The ball 2. 2-1. Wilson trying to get on to his first hit of the ball game. Too far behind that one. Swinging through air for strike 2. Wilson in the last week, 8 hits in 23 at-bats. Pair that along with 2 walks.
That ball's low, and it's gone 3-2.
Looking for his 3rd walk in the last week here. Or simply to avoid becoming the 3rd out. That one is outside, ball 4, and the inning continues. McCart not granted the easy end to the inning he would have wanted. Instead, going to have to face another batter, but may be replaced before he gets the chance.
Yeah, we're going to have a new pitcher coming on, Robert Anders, out to the mound to make the change.
He managed to make it this far, almost 6 full innings of work, but now we're going to hand it over to what looks like Terrence Aguita. So an interesting development in this one. We'll take a short break as he gets his warm-up pitches in, and we'll be right back with some more action. 2 outs in the inning, 2 men on for the Miners. Kevin Nakamura at the plate, and a man I never thought I would see on the mound.
Terrence Segita out on the mound. So Sorelli, who was throwing the football, his day's done. Nakamura will pinch hit in the DH spot for him.
I have to admit, seeing him warm up, Terrence Segita's got some nice fastball action, and he gets a strike on Kevin Nakamura to start his at-bat, so don't take him lightly.
Knox standing in. Got an opportunity to play in game 1, and for good reason. After that 6 RBI day, he came up with a run scored. He had no official at-bats, 2 walks and a hit by pitch, so he was productive.
This one gets away from him, manages to keep it in front of him so he can't advance to third. I say the Miners raise them Terrence Segita and throw Casey Rother on the mound.
You know, that'd be interesting. That would be an interesting decision.
You might as well add it for the ending. Just make it more fun.
Did we? Yeah, we saw Casey Rother in the Anchorage all game, I guess. But
He touched 90 on the velo gun.
that is true.
This one low again, spiking away, and Sweeney goes for third. He'll be safe. Gets a good throw in, but can't turn around for the tag in time.
Stolen base for Sweeney.
Got a nice jump on that one. Skeeta, obviously not his primary position, not as used to checking on his base runners. So Sweeney was able to get a jump without Skeeta even noticing.
Wilson off of first. Now Sweeney off of third.
Nakamura takes this one near the hands for strike 2. Skeeta maybe could get a strikeout here to end the inning.
That'd be nice. Skeeta doesn't have a pitching appearance on the year.
Aren't we special? Kevin Nakamura manages to put that one into the dirt, but into foul ground.
The win today we were talking about at break, this would now be for these Miners 23 out of their last 27. They've been 23-4 since that road trip started on the way to Kenai. Second game of the road trip, actually, as Nakamura fans.
Terrence Segita, pitching debut, strikes out Kevin Nakamura, and the Miners finally are retired for the end of the 6th inning. Score stands at 7-2-3. They hold a 4-run lead heading into the top of the 7th. All they need is 3 outs here. We'll be right back with the top of the 7th. Make sure you stick around to see the conclusion of this one. Miners into the top of the 7th and coming back for his first ABL appearance since facing these same Glacier Pilots in Mulcahy nearly a month ago.
Over a month ago, actually.
Austin Robertson, another Wasilla product, so the Wasilla Arms are carrying the Miners to the finish line here. All he needs is 3 outs.
And you know who those 3 outs are going to come against? Fausto Lopez, Grant Weiss, and Cole Escher, whose last at-bats, they all went deep. All 3 of them hit home runs, so...
It's called poetry.
Certainly no easy situation for Robertson, who we've actually seen pitch his last time against the Piedmont Pride on Wednesday through a couple of innings.
His only inning pitched in the ABL action this year. Allowed 1 run and 1 walk. But that walk came on a hit by pitch, so he's had good control and starts with a strike here.
Remember, the last time that he pitched, he had long hair. He's got short hair now. He donated.
He's a different man
He
now.
donated. He chopped off all his hair and donated it all. So good on him for that.
Did he donate it?
Yeah, he donated it.
Oh, cool. Fausto gets on again, wasting a little time only on the 2nd pitch when he took that one for a single.
Then walk, homer, single for Fausto Lopez. They had a pretty good day. He's on 1 on, none out, and Robertson really has to bear down now.
Robertson does have the benefit of using different arm angles. Could go with something more sidearm for a induced ground ball and a double play. Just doesn't want to give up another long ball to Grant Weiss here. Some pitches outside, ball 1.
Miners do have arms on hand if they need them. Robertson here, though, would love to get the out on Grant Weiss at the bottom of the order. Cole Escher due up next.
A strike there, managed to move from the right to the left of the strike zone. No save in order as it's over 3 runs in this game, but still could hold on to the win here for 2 wins in the double dip event here. This one lifted into the sky. That one's going to become foul property. Miners back in action tomorrow against these same Pilots. Only 1 game at 6. Stream will begin at 5:50. That'll be our last home game before the playoffs. Before then, Robertson looking to get his first out here. That one close to painting the outside of the zone.
Thought he had him.
Austin thought he had him as well. Austin may be the smartest pitcher we have on the staff. Usually responsible for keeping a lot of the pitching charts. Somebody who processes numbers in a way that I honestly can't understand. He's a very bright person.
Robertson thought he had strike 3 there.
So that's back-to-back pitches where the strikeout pitch is denied to Robertson. Will he be able to find it the 3rd time around? 3rd time's the charm. Robertson has what he wants. Here's the pitch as the runner goes for second. Fausto Lopez is not even going to be close, and he'll advance regardless as that's a 4-pitch walk, or 4-ball walk.
Not how the Miners wanted to start the inning, as action on the bullpen may begin momentarily. 2 on, none out, and Cole Escher coming to the plate.
All it would take is 1 long ball, and we have a 1-run ball game. Escher obviously put one over the wall last time up. Not the only time he's done it this year.
Robertson could really use a ground ball right now. Not a big strikeout guy, but if he gets a ground ball, could get a double play, could get him out of a lot of damage. Remember, if Cole Escher reaches here, the tying run all of a sudden comes to the plate. So, this is still a game.
Escher in a 0-0 count. Disregard what the scoreboard says. That's a full count from the last guy. Starts with a ball here on the inside.
1-0 on Escher. Robertson throwing from all those different arm angles. Gotta keep it low in the zone here.
Another low pitch, make it ball 2. Action seems to have stopped in the bullpen, questionably.
Appear to be sticking with Robertson right now. and they need him. Need him to hit the zone here.
Robertson looks towards second. Fausto pretends to go, and now he delivers home.
This one put on the ground, stopped just barely by Sweeney, but no one's going to get out. He just had enough effort to block the ball, but can't throw for an out.
That is a tough play for the Miners. Sweeney almost made the acrobatic play, but just couldn't pull it down, and the bases are loaded, and no one is out.
Tying run stands at home plate. That's Blake Wink, their shortstop, looking for what would be his first home run of the year.
Right now, you're trading it out for a run. I mean, it's become that situation. Bases loaded, nobody out, and now the action is going to pick up in the Miner pen.
This time, almost dusted his shirt. Might need to check his uniform. Lucky that one didn't hit him.
1-0. This is a big spot. Needing out any way you can get it.
Robertson, this one right back to him, and it's going to go up the chute for at least one. Here comes the second runner around. He'll score without an out. There's still 2 on, none away, and 2 RBIs on that one for Blake Wink.
Tough luck for Robertson as that ball came back to him, just hit really hard and just unable to put a glove on it. It's a 2-run single, and it's a 7-5 ball game. And manager Tyler LeBron out of the dugout, and Alex Majors appears to be the guy coming on here in the 7th.
Robertson was given the chance to record some outs here. Instead, he creates a jam, and now Alex Majors will come on for what could be a save opportunity. Up 2. 2 on, none away. They're going to need some perfection from their closer, and we'll let him warm up a bit, get comfortable, and talk game plan with his coach. We'll be right back here at Herman Brothers Field after a short break. Miners in a bit of a jam here, and Alex Majors enters the game. This is what he was made for. Arguably the greatest closer in the ABL this season. Doesn't mean he's perfect, but they might need perfection here.
This is a save situation. Keep in mind, it's a 2-run game. Nobody out. Runners on first and second. Robertson was unable to retire any of the 4 hitters he faced. And the tying run over on first base, Blake Wink can fly.
Majors, this time low, 1-1.
This is his 15th game of the year, which will set a high. He'll be the new leader in games for the Miners. 18 in the 3rd innings. He's got 21 strikeouts and a 2.95 ERA.
First facing off against Tom Tavik, who takes that one inside, strike 2.
Alec Jones waiting on deck. If he can get into the spot.
Can't really trade runs for outs anymore, as still no outs in the inning, and 2 runs is the only difference.
Foul off. Yeah, need a strikeout or something on the ground here. Certainly. Can't waste time if you're Majors. You need to get Tabak at the plate. He might be their best bat in their lineup right now outside of Escher, but you got to get him one way or another.
This would be the 10th save of the season for Majors. A perfect double play ball here. Tabak safe at first.
Close play, and that incredible concentration there by David Bermudez. The umpire got in the way of him. He took it on a big hop and still almost turned the double play. Holden Breeze unleashed a cannon over to first. It's tough to double up Tabak, and you see right there.
Tabak, nice hustle, at least able to get in at first. Keeps runners at the corners, but one away. Majors obviously wouldn't have an earned run for the first one as he's on the run early, and Tom Tabak is regretfully going to have to send back to first.
Yeah, they're going to try to steal any way they can right now with Tabak. They need to get him into scoring position, obviously down 2, and stay out of the double play.
Lost their scoring position player at second.
Miners would take it out for a run here. A sacked fly they'd take because that would keep Tabak likely at first with 2 outs.
See what Majors has. 0-1 count. That one just outside.
1-1, and didn't see Tabak go there, but would not be surprised on either of the next couple of pitches to see him taking off again. Connor McGuire, who's 0 for 3, stands in the on-deck circle.
Pressure on Majors, as this one's just going to end up foul. But pressure on Rando as well. He lets one ball get by him. That's easily a run from third.
And that runner moves up to second in scoring position. He's the tying run. Pilot's on the edge of the dugout right now.
Everything comes down to this. Majors. Here's the 1-2. He does off-routed this one. Strike him out, put him out. That ends the game.
How about that? Alex Majors, my goodness, but Tyler Randall even more on a breaking ball. A check swing he went around on. Randall unleashes a frozen rope to second base. And Tom Tabak never thought that ball was going to be thrown. He's out easy, and the Miners wrap up a doubleheader sweep.
I put the pressure on Majors and Rando. They both deliver. That'll be good for Majors' 10th save of the year, and the Miners' 28th win of the year. 28-9 after 2 wins in the doubleheader today. The rally in the valley persists as this team wants 30.
What a big play. Miners wrap it up here from Herman Brothers Field. 7-5 winners. Miners got 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors. For the Pilots, 5 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors.
This win will go to Aaron, but the Miners' whole team contributed in this one. And because of it, they're continuing their winning streak here. We'll be back tomorrow with another contest against the Pilots. See if they go 3 for 3. Until then, I've been Sean Neef alongside Reese Lannon. Another big game here from Herman Brothers Field. Thank you all for joining us, and be sure to tune in tomorrow.